In the bustling streets of New York City, the movie begins with a captivating scene that sets the tone for the poignant story of Hector Valenti, a talented yet down-on-his-luck artist. Struggling to recapture his audience's attention, Hector's life takes an unexpected turn when he stumbles upon an exotic pet store and discovers Lyle, a crocodile with an astonishingly beautiful singing voice. Enthralled by Lyle's gift, Hector takes the crocodile under his wing, and together, they form an extraordinary musical duo, sharing a deep bond that defies the odds. As they prepare for their big debut, Hector's financial woes force him to stake his apartment as collateral for the performance venue. Excitement builds as the day approaches, but the stage lights prove to be too much for Lyle's timid heart, leaving the once confident crocodile paralyzed with fear, leading to a heartbreaking failure and a devastated Hector. Desperate to protect Lyle from further heartache, Hector decides to leave New York temporarily, leaving behind cherished reminders and a hopeful legacy for Lyle. Fate, however, has its own plans, as a new family, the Prims, moves into Hector's old house, marking the beginning of an unforeseen chapter in Lyle's musical journey. As the Prims embrace their new life in the city, young Josh Prim finds himself longing for familiarity, while his parents eagerly embrace the adventure. In this whimsical adventure, the Prim family embarks on new opportunities when Mr. Prim becomes the Dean of Mathematics University, and Mrs. Prim decides to take a break from her chef career to focus on family. Their move to a new apartment brings them face to face with their grumpy neighbor, Mr. Grumps, and his fiercely guarded Persian cat, Loretta. Curiosity strikes young Josh when he hears mysterious noises from the attic and discovers a stuffed crocodile named Lyle along with a note entrusting him with Lyle's care. As Josh tries to settle into his new school and city life, he faces challenges in making friends and finding his place. Unexpectedly, Lyle is set free by Loretta, leading Josh on a thrilling chase through the bustling city to save them both. Amidst the adventure, Josh finds himself captivated by the enigmatic crocodile and decides to follow Lyle, unaware that this pursuit will lead him into unexpected and dangerous situations. In a crucial moment, Lyle emerges to protect Josh from a desperate encounter with a homeless man, solidifying the unbreakable bond between the boy and his mysterious reptile friend. With an astonishing display of power, Lyle lets out a thunderous roar, startling the would-be thief and sending him fleeing in fear. Josh is both relieved and amazed at the bravery and loyalty shown by the unexpected hero. Grateful for Lyle's timely intervention, Josh offers his heartfelt thanks to the crocodile, who acknowledges his appreciation with a nod before swiftly vanishing into the shadows. Little does Josh know that this encounter will be the beginning of an extraordinary friendship with Lyle and, surprisingly, with another reptile named Loretta. In the days that follow, Josh's life takes a fascinating turn as he discovers more about Lyle and Loretta. Despite being a seemingly unlikely trio, they form a beautiful and unbreakable friendship. As Josh spends time with Lyle and Loretta, he begins to open up about his past. He shares with them the story of his early life when his family lived in Taiwan and how his mother, who is now his stepmother, stepped in to raise him after the loss of his biological mother when he was just 2 years old. Feeling a strong connection with Lyle, he confides in the enigmatic crocodile about his emotional journey, finding solace in the fact that Lyle listens attentively, providing comfort in his silent presence. In the meantime, Trudy, one of Josh's classmates, becomes intrigued by his interest in reptiles. When Josh reveals his fascination with Lyle and Loretta, she, too, opens up about her unique pet, a rattlesnake. They too bond over their shared love for reptilian creatures, deepening their friendship and understanding of each other's interests. United by their passion, the trio embarks on numerous escapades, visiting Lyle's favorite restaurants and learning from the resourceful crocodile how to get free food. As they laugh and share joyous moments, they cherish the bond that has blossomed between them, forming an inseparable group of friends who find comfort and acceptance in each other's company. And amid the laughter and dancing, Loretta, too, finds her own happiness, indulging in a sumptuous banquet, which is quite a treat considering her restricted diet at home. The next day dawns with unexpected consequences for the Prim family, leading them into a series of bewildering events. Mrs. Prim wakes up to find Josh missing from his bed, and her worry escalates when she discovers the attic door open. To her shock, she finds Josh sleeping alongside a gigantic crocodile, Lyle, on the sofa. Despite her initial panic, Josh reassures his mother that everything is all right. To calm her nerves, Lyle surprises Mrs. Prim with his singing, captivating her with his unique talent. As they head to the subway, Mrs. Prim calls her husband to share the news, but Josh urges her to keep Lyle's existence a secret from his father, fearing he won't understand their extraordinary friendship. Back home, Mrs. Prim discovers Lyle taking a bath in the tub, startling her, but the playful Crocodile wins her over as he showcases his culinary skills in the kitchen. Lyle and Mrs. Prim bond over cooking and dancing, creating a joyous atmosphere, and their unusual connection flourishes amid the delightful chaos of Lyle's unexpected presence in their lives. However, their happiness draws suspicion from Mr. Prim, who notices his wife's sudden change in demeanor. To find out what the family is hiding, Mr. Grump installs security cameras around the house. Meanwhile, Mrs. Prim secretly enjoys her newfound joy and carefreeness, much to her husband's bewilderment. When he questions her about a recent pizza order, she finally decides to reveal the truth about Lyle. Taking Mr. Prim to Josh's room, she confronts him with the presence of the crocodile, causing him to panic. Upon seeing a picture of himself from his past fighting days on the wall, Mr. Prim fears a confrontation with Lyle. In a surprising twist, he decides to flee the house, seeking help to deal with this unprecedented situation. During the confrontation, when Mr. Prim tries to run towards the door, a twist comes in the story. Hector, the former owner of the apartment, suddenly appears at their door with suitcases in hand. The family is surprised to see how much Lyle has grown since Hector left him behind. Despite Lyle's initial reluctance, Hector's singing rekindles the bond between them, showing that the crocodile is happy to see his old friend again. To verify Hector's claims, Mrs. Prim contacts the real estate company and discovers that he indeed owned the property but lost it due to debts. However, his contract still allows him to live in the apartment for 2 weeks a year. During the nights, Hector and Lyle start rehearsing new songs in the attic, causing a commotion that disturbs Mr. Grumps. On Sunday, the Prim family decides to go for a walk, but Mr. Prim opts to have some alone time in town. To their surprise, Hector appears in uniform to watch the Gators game, and Lyle joins them. Hector believes that Lyle can pass as a human in disguise. The trio embarks on a day filled with park visits, a golf cart ride, and an adventure at the museum. Back home, Mr. Prim realizes they are out of hot water and heads to the attic to check the heater, where Lyle follows him. In an impromptu fight, Mr. Prim emerges victorious, making Lyle pretend to have been defeated, boosting Mr. Prim's confidence like a champion once again. The next day, Hector shares magic tricks with the family while Lyle prepares dinner, accidentally burning a pancake. To avoid embarrassment, he eats the burnt pancake himself. The evening concludes with a musical performance, during which Hector convinces Lyle to consider performing in front of an audience, despite the crocodile's initial reluctance. With newfound reunions, revelations, and a potential performance on the horizon, the Prim family's life becomes even more extraordinary as they embrace the presence of the lovable and talented crocodile, Lyle. As the day of the talent show approaches, Josh becomes increasingly concerned about Hector's intentions for Lyle, the crocodile. He witnesses Hector sneaking out with Lyle and tries to intervene, knowing that the crocodile doesn't want to perform. However, Hector's greed overrides Lyle's feelings, and he forces the reluctant crocodile onto the stage, causing distress and anxiety. Later, as they return, Lyle is paralyzed with fear on the stage, prompting Josh to step in and comfort him. Despite his efforts, Hector abandons Lyle again, leaving him feeling lonelier than ever. Amidst the turmoil, Mr. Prim receives a summons to a condominium meeting where Mr. Grumps accuses the Prim family of disturbances and calls for their eviction. Hector unexpectedly attends the meeting and challenges Mr. Grumps' actions of installing cameras. The situation intensifies, and the animal rescue authorities are called to capture Lyle. Desperate to save him, Josh tries to distract the guards, but Lyle is shot with a tranquilizer dart, leading to his captivity in a zoo. Determined to bring back Lyle's happiness, the Prim family vows to redeem him and bring him back home. Despite his parents' reservations, Josh is determined to rescue Lyle. The boy's desperation leads to a panic attack, and he faints. Once recovered, the family returns home, leaving Lyle to face his first night in captivity. The crocodile's sadness grows, and he sings to ease his pain, but memories of his adventures with Josh and Hector only intensify his longing for freedom. Hector, feeling remorse for his actions, leaves New York. The following day, Trudy encourages Josh not to give up, and he finds hope in her words. When Josh encounters Hector on the stairs, the artist seeks redemption and enlists Josh's help to free Lyle from the zoo. They come up with a daring plan, and with Lyle's intervention, they successfully rescue him. Hector admits his mistake and acknowledges that Lyle belongs beside Josh and his family. The trio embarks on a journey to start anew, seeking redemption and celebrating the unbreakable bond of friendship between a boy and his crocodile companion. After successfully freeing Lyle from the zoo, Hector and Josh encounter police cars, and Hector urges Josh to run away with Lyle while he distracts the cops. In a stroke of inspiration, Josh decides to take Lyle to the talent show to demonstrate that he is no ordinary crocodile. They ride across town on Hector's motorcycle, but an accident separates them. Nonetheless, Lyle quickly reaches the stage where the whole audience and judges are horrified by his presence. Hoping to help Lyle break free from his shyness, Josh sings on stage, and miraculously, Lyle finds his voice, putting on a remarkable show. Days later, facing court proceedings, Mr. Grumps attempts to have the Prim family arrested for stealing a zoo animal. However, Hector arrives with an important document proving that Lyle's presence in their home is justified. The document, signed by Hector's grandmother, who founded the New York Zoo, states that she could keep any kind of animal in her home as an animal enthusiast. The judge accepts the justification, and Lyle is approved to return home to his family, celebrating their hard-earned victory together. Months later, Josh and his family take Lyle on vacation for the first time in his life. While they enjoy their time away, Hector stays behind to find a new attraction. During their vacation, Trudy visits Hector and shows him that her rattlesnake can also sing, proposing that Hector becomes its advisor. He agrees immediately, starting a new chapter in his life. As the movie concludes, the characters reflect on the transformative events and lessons they've learned, leaving the audience with a heartwarming tale of friendship, redemption, and the magic of second chances.